Thank you, Director. Good afternoon, colleagues. In the interest of time, let me just write on the protocols that have already been established. I recognize the chair, board chair in our list, the vice chair, and members of the press. Ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly send a sincere apology for the delay in commencing our program, and we do not take this lightly. We are sincerely apologize for this particular development. This was basically decided beyond our control. Let me also thank you so much for telling in good numbers. I think this is the first time that I've seen this. I thought you had a very big boardroom, but when I see people standing, it just kind of gives the impression that we needed to expand our boardroom to accommodate all of this so that we can see it comfortably. But we want to thank you so much for telling in good numbers at very short notice when the invitation was extended to yourselves. And we're really so grateful for this level of cooperation and look forward to a continued interaction and cooperation with yourselves. In the interest of time, again, let me now call upon the Vice Chair to also say a few words and invite your Chair to give his statement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Executive Director. I will not waste any more time by saying something that probably was said by the Honorable Chair. My job this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, is to simply call upon our Honorable Chair, Honorable Suresh Desai, to deliver the brief. Honorable Desai.
On behalf of the board, management and staff of the Food Reserve Agencies, and indeed on my own behalf, let me begin by commending our government and stakeholders in the agricultural sector for initiating and implementing agricultural policy reforms that have resulted in the increase of, massive increase, I might say, of agricultural production and subsequent fall in the price of essential food items like millet, which has seen a sharp reduction in retail prices. This is evidenced by the continued bumper harvest recorded in the previous two farming seasons. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the board, management and staff of the Food Reserve Agency, and indeed on my own behalf, allow me to begin by expressing our sincere gratitude to you all for accepting to attend this press briefing amidst your busy schedules. We are greatly honored and humbled by your presence here. Our gratitude also goes to the government of the Republic of Zambia under the leadership of His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia, for the continued support rendered to the agency in fulfilling its mandate of ensuring and assuring national food security. Ladies and gentlemen, during the 2024-25 agricultural season, the country recorded a harvest of 3.6 million metric tons of maize, talking of the previous season. This was after emerging from the worst drought in recorded history. And the Food Reserve Agency has noted with delight the historic bumper harvest for the current 2025-2026 agricultural season, with the anticipated maize crop harvest estimated at 5.1 million metric tons. This massive output, the highest ever in the country's history, will ensure national food security and a significant surplus for export, bringing in the vital foreign exchange. This production outlook provides a strong foundation for the agency's 2026 crop marketing program. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to assure the nation through you that we at the FRA are very alive to the recent calls by our head of state for the Food Reserve Agency to commence crop purchases for this season. In line with this, the FRA has already completed extensive requisite preparations for the massive crop purchase exercise for this season. And I would like to begin by outlining some of these preparations to you. Number one, mapping and identification of buying depot sites. This year, a total of 1,749 buying depot sites have been established and will be operationalized during the 2026 marketing period. Number two, recruitment and training of buying depot clerks. The agency has completed the countrywide recruitment and training of buying depot clerks who will be buying crops at buying depots. A total of 3,498 buying depot clerks have been recruited, and a total of also 3,498 security guards have been recruited, as well as these will be moving on site when the buying depots open for business. Distribution of marketing requisites to all provinces. The agency has already distributed 7 million empty grain bags to all the districts for both maize and paddy rice purchase. And a further 23 million empty grain bags have already arrived and are being held in our central storage stocks. Grain scales, seed, twine, and black sheets for the crop marketing season have already been sent to the district centers in readiness for the crop marketing exercise. Number four, establishment of buying depot management committees. This is a new development this year in light of the experiences that we've had in the past crop marketing season. This is for effective and efficient management of buying depots. Buying depot management committees have been established to manage and supervise the operations of buying depots. The committees comprise officials from the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Reserve Agency, and representatives of headmen and faith-based organizations.
Good afternoon, colleagues, once more. Just as the chair has indicated about the establishment of what we call the buying depots management committees. We're all aware about the experiences of last year when a number of our buying points were besieged with a lot of farmers, to an extent where the reports that we were receiving were that some people had even stayed at those buying points for more than 2 weeks, some even going to a month. Now, to avoid those kind of arrangements where farmers were inconvenienced to that extent, the agency or the board directed management to establish these committees. Now, these committees are actually authorities at those satellite depots. Our appeal to the farmers is that they must be able to respect and adhere to the instructions that will be issued by those satellite depot committees. They should not necessarily underestimate them on the basis that part of the composition will be from within their locations, which is an advantage to them. Because by so doing, those committees will be able to identify genuine farmers who should be able to be attended to first. And by the composition of those farmers being local, with the local membership, it will also avoid a situation where outsiders will come and abuse the system. So they will manage it on behalf of the management, the board and the management of the agency, and they will have full authority, basically, to discharge any kind of punitive measure that they might be able to, in order to control the management of the satellite depots or the buying points. Furthermore, farmers are equally also encouraged that for efficiency to occur at those depots, they should be able to fully cooperate with those committees by, one, ensuring that if instructions are issued to manage congestion, they should be able to comply with that. Secondly, in the issuance of whatever marketing requisites will be done, they should be able to follow the instructions that will be issued by those committees. And thirdly, in case any of our staff, what I mean by staff, FRA staff, might be seen to misbehave as what the chair has indicated or any corruptive actions, that committee should be able to immediately or instantly provide or be able to report to management for further action. I thought I should be able to elaborate that, Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that further elaboration on the operations and the necessity for having these committees at the buying points. As you can see from the foregoing, the Food Reserve Agency is fully ready to commence the buying exercise. However, what is still holding us is the issue of moisture content of the harvested maize in the country in this season. For various reasons, one being the late departure of the rain, also the early onset of the cold season could have combined to delay the drying of the harvested maize. Now, what I would urge everyone to bear in mind is that the Food Reserve Agency buys and stores grain for long-term storage as required by the food security needs of the nation. The Food Reserve Agency is the utah of the nation. That is where we are sure that the food is there. When the traded maize runs out or there is a crop failure, if the weather conspires against us, the rains fail, something like that, then we should have somewhere where we can grow maize to continue providing the vital national food, which is the milk on the market. Now, The Food Reserve Agency buys and stores grain with the intention of long-term storage. And therefore, for long-term storage, it is absolutely essential that the stored maize has a moisture level of maximum 12.5% and below. If the moisture level is higher than this, the grain will spoil easily when stored and even develop aflatoxins, which are very dangerous to human and animal health. I say animal health because some of that maize is fed to chickens, or cattle, pigs, and that kind of thing, which are a vital source of protein for our people. I would like to ask our Vice Chair perhaps to comment a bit more on this issue.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The issues of the moisture level at 12.5% and below. This one is non-negotiable. We will not buy any maize that is above 12.5% in terms of content. As the Chair has indicated, if we buy that maize and keep it in storage, it will obviously be destroyed. And it develops what are known as aflatoxins. And I think we all have an idea now what these aflatoxins are all about. If you recall, in 2024, leading to 2025, when we had to bring in maize from Tanzania, whilst the FRA made sure that all the maize that was imported into the country was 12% or below moisture content, a few of our millers, I think you all recall, colleagues, that a few of the millers, once they realized there was going to be a shortage, they got into Tanzania and bought some of the maize which was higher than 12%, 12.5% moisture content. And when that maize was milled, I think we all recall how many dogs we lost as a result of those dogs eating maize, mainly which had aflatoxins. And if you all recall, certain mills were even stopped from selling milling because the issue of aflatoxins is so serious that if it is fed to humans, it takes a little longer for it to react in humans. But in animals, cattle, pigs, if they eat a meal which has got aflatoxins, normally will immediately abort if they were pregnant. And for the dogs, unfortunately, they will die. And I think Pressman here will recall, they covered a lot of news in 2024 when our dogs were dying in Makeni, Osaka West, and so on and so forth. So, as you have indicated, Honorable Chair, all we can say is we shall not buy maize that is above 12.5 moisture content. It doesn't matter what you do, we will not buy it because it is for long-term storage, and we don't want you, the people of our country, to come back and say FRA is selling me maize which is bitter, which has aflatoxins, and it's affecting our health. So this is being done for the sake of the consumers of Zambia, both animals